First of all, welcome to the channel and thank you for stopping by. When time permits, please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. What we have here is the 2020 390 Adventure. This is named Adventure, but it's based on the Duke 390 street bike. And infamously, one of the things that held over from the Duke 390 was a placement of the foot peg bracket that left the pegs at an angle. Now, anyone who's ridden off-road realizes that a good stable platform is a huge benefit to you. And this bike from the factory does not deliver that. Until recently, we had three main options, and each of those options were north of $200 to get pegs that, when placed into the angled brackets, would give you a flat surface, a good base to stand on off-road. That has recently changed, however, as NICECNC has come out with an affordable set of pegs so that folks aren't having to spend, again, north of $200. For less than half of that, we have these. These promise to provide the same flat surface that the $200+ pegs do. Now, I took them out of the packaging about 30 minutes ago. They are lightweight aluminum, just like most aftermarket pegs. I have a very similar pair on my Honda that have been on there for 4.5 years without any kind of problem. And that takes more hits than this bike ever does. So it looks like they're nicely made. It looks like they have quite a bit of support. Let's go ahead and replace my $240 pegs with these and see what kind of comparison I can make between under $100 and over $200. Something to keep in mind is the NICECNC foot pegs come with the foot pegs themselves and a few replacement pegs. What it does not come with is the hardware that you will need. These are going to be your original ones. The washer and the little rubber gap, you can use that over, but I would recommend you go ahead and get a new cotter pin. You can get these in any hardware store for pennies, and it will certainly make it easier. If you've never taken your pegs off before, the cotter pin will be in here and bent around. I use needle nose pliers to bend it and then pry it right out with this. Once you've done that, you just have to take the pin out and don't lose your spring. Again, no spring is included. You can get these on Amazon. You can get them on KTM World. They're pennies. I mean, realistically, they don't age. This thing has been through tons of water. It's in perfect condition, just a little bit dirty. Okay, I seem to run into this every time I'm putting foot pegs in. You go ahead, you push the pin in, it goes through here, it goes through the beginning of the foot peg, and then the spring is absolutely nowhere near where you need it to be. I just take my small screwdriver and manage to push it in so that I can get my pin through. You may not need to do it. I may just do this poorly every time, but I always have to fight with that with a screwdriver. And once we're through, we just put everything back on. Haha, the way it was before. And I think I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Okay, 2 hands, about 5 minutes. This is a mess, and a new cotter pin would have helped. Factory spring works perfectly with it. We are running with a $240 peg on my right foot, and we're running with the under $100 NICECNC peg on the left foot. Just want to see what differences there are. Let's see, going down a bit of a gravelly, rocky spot here. This is very steep. I doubt the GoPro is going to give it justice, but very steep. Lots of gravel. Now, I will say I prefer the teeth cut in to my other foot peg to the little screw-in pegs that are on the NICECNC. Now, that is just how I feel about them. Some people prefer those. I've had that style on my Honda for 5 years, It's never been a problem, just a personal preference. Again, I'm going down a very steep road. We're going a halfway decent clip here. I feel great. It is a wider platform, and I do prefer that. As I said before, I've owned one of these on a different bike for 5 years. It has been banged off of many things, no issues whatsoever. I don't expect there will be any quality control issues here. And I tell you, that extra platform is very noticeable. And if you're one of the folks coming from a stock foot peg, wow, you are gonna feel like, I mean, it literally looks like it's twice the peg the stock pegs are. All right, in case there was any doubt, this is the NICECNC peg, well under $100. Here's my rival peg, $239.99 when I purchased it. And I have to say, as I mentioned, I do like a peg that's cut out like that. However, I prefer this larger peg. I really do. It gives me more of a solid platform. Great peg. Yeah, foot peg is great. Nice platform. No complaints. Good for going down hills in the gravel, good for going uphill in the gravel. All right, I think they look great. They feel great. The mechanism works properly. I cannot imagine these not working out perfectly for you. Well, there you have it. A relatively brief, but I think decent test of the NICECNC foot pegs. These are well made. They're by a company that their product has lasted for me for at least 5 years, and I know they're fairly well reviewed on Amazon and other sites. I just cannot get over how inexpensive this peg is compared to the competition. Now, I'm not suggesting you go and switch your rivals or your pivot pegs or something over to the NICECNC. You've already invested, go ahead and stay there. But if you are still riding on the stock pegs, I would absolutely recommend these before doing what I did and spending $240. The platform is superior, and as long as you do not mind this type of screw-in post, I think you're going to be incredibly satisfied. I know that even though I do not like screw-in posts, I'm completely satisfied with them on my Honda, and I've never thought of replacing them with a more expensive set of pegs. They just last. All right, if you stuck around this long, thank you. I appreciate it, and take care.